Hello. It is the end of the day and I'm winding down with a cup of coffee. I know, it's a little bit not normal. Don't judge me. I just needed to make a coffee with my coffee machine. I'll be honest, it was an excuse to try to practice my frame rates, specifically 60 frames per second, which hopefully you will love the B-roll that will be going throughout this little feature presentation. I had been thinking about frame rates over the past couple of days. My favorite is 24 frames per second, and what I was practicing today was 60 frames per second. And I was like, dang, all of these recordings are made up of these little pictures. How crazy is that? And that made me think of life. Our life is made up of all these little moments. In our lives, we have seasons, and these seasons are not usually made up of big milestone events. They're made up of a lot of little moments and a lot of little decisions. And the frame rate that immediately came to my mind was 60 frames per second, 60 pictures making up this detailed moment. And I was talking to my mentor today, and I've been going through a pretty challenging season. I had this thought of, if I could just kind of get through this and we'd have a couple of milestone moments that would lead us to where we needed to be. And my mentor, as if she was reading my mind, was like, there's not going to be a moment where all the violins start playing and the heavens open and the sparkles fall from the sky. And I was like, gosh darn it. I wish that were the case. She challenged me and said that this period of my life is going to be about little intentional moments where I choose to respond the right way, where I respond in gentleness or in kindness. And those moments shift and adjust the timeline that I'm on in this season. And I was like, that's like frame rates. And it's literally like saying every decision I make is a little frame in this recording. And I don't really know what frame I'm on exactly to say I'm getting to the end of the experience or the season, but what I hope for is being able to look back and seeing the visual, seeing the recording and saying, oh, I see what God was intending for this situation. I see why he didn't allow certain things to happen. And I see why it was so important for me to consistently respond the correct way. I think that if I can adapt my mind to that, thinking this is a 60 frames per second sort of situation, this is a 60 frames per second season that I need to just settle into and let every moment happen and value every decision and consider and think through carefully every decision that I make to be consistent, that eventually I'll have a picture in front of me or a recording in front of me that I can look back on and be able to see what God was trying to do in my life. I know that not every situation is like that. There are going to be instances where we go through a really challenging time and we are consistent in making the right choices, and we don't know why things happen the way that they did. But we can still trust God with the big picture, I think. That's the hope that I have, at least. Hopefully it was encouraging to you. It definitely was encouraging to me. I'm learning to try and trust God more. I think God is starting to show me what it actually means. And I'm very thankful to have people around me that are offering support. And I'm thankful that God created my brain in this way, where I can match life experiences and principles to things that I enjoy, like making movies for YouTube. And maybe that's part of God's kindness to me, is he's teaching me things, teaching me concepts and principles through things like cameras and tech, and kind of just letting my mind absorb things in a way that I can, giving me lessons in a way that my mind can absorb them. I hope that that's the case. I think it is. I'm going to enjoy my coffee now and allow you to get back to whatever you're doing. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video.